Okay, the symbiotes finally get some play in Old Man Hawkeye number 5. I am doing this entire maxi series, so if you don't want to miss anything, hit that subscribe button for me. But let's get into this. Okay, I'm going to skip the first page, but the first page it takes place in the White House. Red Skull is president, and he's talking with an advisor who does have a Hitler mustache, because I guess when the president has a skull that's red, anything goes. No rules. No rules about fashion or facial hairs or whatever. Maybe it's mandated. Maybe Red Skull's like everyone has to have a Hitler mustache, even the women. But he's talking to him about how Bullseye, they need to take control of him because Bullseye's completely gone off the rails and he's just hunting this old man. Also, this cover, I love this perspective. So they're talking about how Bullseye, he could be losing his marbles a little bit because he does have Deathlock implants, which that should have clicked way earlier, because anytime it shows Bullseye, he has like a computer screen, and I don't know why, I just assumed that was a thing he had. But yeah, they're like, okay, we need to kill him or rein him in or something. Okay, so then we get to this right here, which is really reminiscent of the cover for the first issue, I think. So he says, alright, Bullseye, this here's an arrow with your fucking name on it. And I was like, oh, I thought we were dealing with the symbiotes, but it's just this. Because we do need to be reminded that for every, like, badass thing that Clint does in this comic, you gotta have him do, like, a couple of, like, Old Man Blind things to remind us about it. And also, when I was looking at this, it's like, dude, I feel like you are straight up 3 feet away from that, and I could have made that Bullseye. And is it because in my professional life, I am in the Premier League of Britain of dart throwing? That's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, like, Stevie Wonder could have hit that, and you could still have some of your sight. So they're at the bar. This is where we ended the last issue, where the symbiotes are lurking around. We've got this kid who is not Miles Morales, but I want him to be. So they've been betting on this, and Clint's been losing. And the bartender mentions that he needs to get to the Sanctuary of the Silent Sisterhood, where Songbird lives, which is the wife or former wife of the Beetle who Clint killed. He needs to get there because he's hunting down all the Thunderbolts, and I guess she was there. And also, dude, fuck this. I don't like ants. I see ants and I start squishing them. I could not be friends with this kid ever. And he just reeks of autism. So he's they're describing the Songbird place as a haven for broken souls. Which, I mean, when we're talking post-apocalypse, it's like, I feel like I said that really weird. Post-apocalypse, that's everyone. I just assume everyone's soul is broken unless otherwise. And then finally, this guy's like, alright, I'm not going to deal with your shit anymore, Clint. I'm actually going to have someone give me some cash money. But apparently they've been betting, so I guess, like, just keep betting. Is it morally and ethically wrong to be placing sight-based bets with a blind man? Because, I mean, if he's game, I mean, I will take his money. I'll take it. He's like, excuse me, I need to deal with a real patron. And then we see this, and it's like, oh, shit. You can't be having raggedy eyes. You cannot be having raggedy eyes, ever. Fucking ever. And now, this is like this is the 5th issue, and now these guys are finally interacting, so that's, God, I've been waiting. He says, he killed our brothers, and you know, the symbiotes have trouble with the S's. I feel like they should get a new name, because they're just going to be wasting so much time pronouncing the word symbiotes. Like, I'm already gone. I'm already out of town. You can't find me. He killed our brothers. We want to drink the blood straight from his heart. Ooh, that's pretty fucking hardcore. Glenn says, yeah, you and what army? Never ask that shit. I've seen so many movies. Do you know the likelihood of a person having an army when they start coming at you? It's like 100%. It's like 100%, 98% of the time. At least he's going to have some homies to jump you. And I mean, symbiotes, they're too sketchy. They're too fickle. He could just do a little dash of symbiote on this fucking Miles Morales kid, and now he's one of them. So yeah, he could have an army in like a fucking second. Even you, not Miles Morales' granddad. And then we see this. All these symbiotes just come crashing in. Clint's like, sorry ass. I like this Clint. I think Hawkeye might be alright. I mean, this version where he's kind of a smartass dealing with, look at all this. That one looks a little formless, but god damn. And then we cut to this Claire Temple's. Oh, I don't know if I even realized that was like Claire. Like, what's her actress name? I almost said Rosie Perez, but Rosie Perez is definitely not the right answer. Whatever. The lady who appears in all the Netflix shows. Okay, so anyway, we see Bullseye here. He's dealing with his wounds that he accrued from the really shitty Kravenov gang. And he says, I don't really have the patience to be stabbed again. Almost finished. You were the one who didn't want anesthesia. I love this guy. That's a true sign of a badass when a man's like, I don't want no anesthesia. Even if he turns into a total pussy a second later, the fact that he had the wherewithal to even say that. I have never been seriously injured. But if I do, I'm going to straight up be like, no anesthesia. Well, I'm probably going to be like, if I'm seriously injured, I'm probably almost fucking dead and therefore unconscious. But if I'm able to speak, even if my like lower jaw is just hanging by ligaments, I'm going to be like, no anesthesia. Because I want them to know that I'm a badass. Because I care what people think about me. So he begins asking her if she can help with the Deathlock, the Eka 8 Deathlock tracking chip in my head. So this is how Red Skull's keeping track of him, and also, apparently it's, to get it out, it's a delicate brain surgery, and I don't understand how it's making him go insane. I mean, it's metal that's been implanted, so to make it go insane, I guess it would be shifting around or something, and I feel like, I mean, it's the post-apocalypse. I feel like everybody has a lot of free time, so you could probably nail this technology down, but you know what? That's me judging, and I shouldn't. So while she's talking about how it has a bunch of defensive countermeasures, some of Red Skull's like other cronies show up, and Bullseye, he just grabs a couple scalpels and then and they just, you see it just go into the guys. I swear to God, this comic is worth it. This series is worth it for the violence alone, because I feel like a lot of Marvel right now is just like cutesy kid garbage, and I just want to see people get fucking murdered, and to a lesser extent choked, murdered by choking. And then, okay, yeah, then we come back, and also look at this. I don't know about this, guys. Wakanda Forever. Oh, does she have a ponytail on the back of her head? Not a good girl. That is inexcusable. So, Clint is fighting with these symbiotes, and he stabs one in the fucking head with an arrow. This guy, I feel like bartenders or bar owners, they got a little bit of sass, and they like wisecracks. I feel like before you apply for a liquor license, you have to do like a tight 5 comedy set in front of like the Better Business Bureau, or what, I don't know how business works, but it's something where you're performing comedy in front of people to get a liquor license. Damn you, Burton, this is going on your tab. Dwight, get to the cellar, and then this kid is messing around with the transducer, and I swear to God, I thought he was doing some like autistic shit where chaos is happening all around him, and he's like, I don't understand these emotions, or these stakes. But it comes into play later. Symbiotes are throwing him around, and he says, I distracted him long enough for you to get your shotgun, didn't you? And we see this guy, he just blasts one in the fucking head, and then I can't tell if these are different symbiotes from what just happened here, because then we get this huge image, which is so fucking dope. Like, come on, wouldn't you pay like $3.50 just to gaze upon this image? I'm telling you, dog. Shit is worth. So I think what it's trying to convey is he shot that and then they just immediately grouped together. Or, no. Okay, you know what? I cracked it. I just cracked it. Just chalked it out. Shot that. We got 2 other ones who say, "You'll never stop us." And the one he shot splits off into some Hydra stuff. And he says, "Whoa, since when did Venom do that?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, this may have something to do with me killing a whole bunch of 19th generation multiple man clones." And then I reread this. I generally read all the comics twice, right? And I would love to see this done in real life. Like, it's so dope when you actually think of what's happening. Okay, so we've got this craziness going on here, which is, I just imagine they're shrieking at all times, or just like, just wagging their tongues around, just making like gross ass noises. Clint, he grabs a bottle of liquor. He throws it. He gets an arrow ready. He shoots the arrow. He lights a match, then throws it. Just think of that sequence of events. It took like grab, throw, ready, shoot, light, throw the match. That's like, oh God, I would love to see that in real life. And you know what? I can't show you them getting lit on fire, but I swear it's worth it. If you don't think this image is worth $3.50, this image and the image of them on fucking fire is definitely fucking worth it. Straight up. And then we see, oh, I guess I'll show this. The kid, I mean, you could argue that he was doing some autistic shit, but what he was doing was he was adjusting the frequency on his transducer to get the ants to start attacking the symbiotes, which could be literally the lamest attack on a symbiote of all time. I mean, I gotta respect the kid. He's doing his part. He's doing what he can. When you're an ant person, you gotta do ant stuff. And I mean, the idea of it's fucking cool, but imagine if you're the symbiote. I mean, your homies were just lit on fire after being stabbed with arrows and just close range shotgunned. But then this one later, when they're like licking, well, they straight up would be licking their wounds. They're fucking weirdos with long ass tongues. They'd be like, yeah, those ants. Those fucking ants, dude, I swear to God. Then he's gonna be a symbiote wearing a holster with a can of Raid on it. It's gonna be fucking ridiculous. And then some other cool violent shit happens. And then Clint and the kid, no, I'll show this. Okay, so we cut back to where Bullseye was at Claire Temple's clinic. And we see all these dudes are dead because Bullseye's like really good at what he does. And we see that Taskmaster is also there. But it's somehow older. Like, props to the artist on this one. Was it Marco Cicchetto? Yeah, Marco Cicchetto. Props to him because he somehow was able to make a skull look old. I mean, just think about it. Like, if I asked you to draw a skull, you'd be like, alright. And then I would say, okay, age it. How the fuck would you even do that? Marco Cicchetto, is that racist? he figured it out. And he says, like, all the dialogue in these comics are so spot on. I love it, especially Bullseye's lines. It's making me be like, yo, is he a real character? Also, would like to point out the Taskmaster just has like a hubcap shield, which a sign of the times, I think. But he tells Taskmaster, oh, okay, Red Skull is asking, like, come on, how big of a message do you really need before he really sends me to kill you? Talking about Red Skull. Bullseye responds with, oh, please, you would have had no chance even before the hip replacement. Oh my, he has a fucking scar. Marco Cicchetto. Marco. Oh, please, you would have had no chance even before the hip replacement. You should have retired years ago, Taskmaster. And he says this, which is like gold. You know it doesn't work like that, not in a place like this. You just keep stabbing until someone comes along to stab you. People like us don't get to retire. Dude! I love that. I love that because it's so true. It's the way I would like to go out. Every day I go out hoping, waiting for someone to stab me because I don't want to stab somebody. Every time I leave the house, I got to stab someone, and I hate it. I hate the world we live in. And then Old Man Hawkeye and the kid, they head to the sanctuary and they see a person there. It's so good. It's so good. I mean, I showed you the splitting, but the fire panel, that shit, oh my god. Go get this right now. Straight up. Straight up. Marco is fucking working so hard on this and nobody's reading it. You bastard.